somewhere in the same proximity. And as Elizabeth stated, you know, the lot and things has to expand to accommodate the safety features that the federal government's requiring. So it's all in the name of safety. You know, shut-off valves, relief valves, redundant run regulation, things like that. It all makes it bigger, but it's all required as things we have.
You're going from a one lot on Weber, East Weber, for what you have now, and you want 2 more lots. So it's going to be 3 lots right there on my street, a house away from my house. So what's my accommodation? Because I feel like our property value is going to tank with this going almost right next door to us.
So with that, like I mentioned, we can connect after the meeting. You can tell me what you feel now.
Have you told us when these meetings are going to be? I mean, you said you're going to have meetings throughout, so when?
Yep, so I have one scheduled for December 19th, kind of a listening session. Within the next few weeks, I also am planning to send around a feedback form. And I'll send out the details to you guys so you can share with the community. I'm happy to post on Facebook or wherever you guys consume the information. Happy to have a listening session. Also plan to send around a feedback form. The feedback form would basically take in what you guys value most of facilities. Is it fencing? Is it landscaping? Is it how the facilities are built? You know, what color are they? What are they made out of? So we're currently going through all that planning to kind of provide you those options to understand what's important to you. Like I mentioned, I know to an extent what's important as far as what it looks like, landscaping, making sure it's well integrated. Completely understand, and that's what I'm advocating for. But we definitely want to get people's feedback for that.
This is going to require more of a public forum than virtual feedback. We need to have our council members present and aware of what is going on in our neighborhood for this specific project.
It appears that those feedback forums occur after your attendance at the zoning hearings.
So you're saying the December 19th one, or?
Well, at least the January 20th.
I'm happy to reschedule that one. If we were like 2 before the zoning and variance, I'm happy to accommodate. I didn't realize they were taking a vote on the 4th, so if we like 2 before, I'm more than happy to do that.
Well, I'm not suggesting that we rush it.
Sure,
I'm just confused that as to why it would be on the December zoning and variance committee agenda. It seems like it needs more time.
So that was a question for me.
Where are these meetings being held?
So I was planning to hold these meetings virtually. If you want to hold them
No. Just do it in person.
Sure.
We're going to take a few more questions, and then we're going to have to adjourn. We have to get out of here. So
I'm happy to stay around the parking lot after.
We can do that. That's fine. You're willing to do
There's no dump take though.
Paul.
Hi. On Tulane, is the pipeline going to be mainly in the road, or are you going to take trees down? Because there are a number of really unique and large shade trees along that street. If anything, if the pipeline is in the street, it seems like that might be a better way to go.
Yeah, so Daniel, correct me if I'm wrong, most of it's in the street. The actual physical plans for where it aligns are actually available online. I can share a link with you guys.
Yeah.
As far as when we're operating around trees, how that works is a few different things. Hydro excavate, so we're in and around trees for Columbus within 10 feet of a root system. We have to call an arborist. We have to use hydro excavation, which uses water to help excavate. We also have an arborist on staff as well. We'll work with, call out, and look at things. So that's kind of how we approach them, but I think the majority is going to be in the roadway.
Yeah, everything on this project is road right away with the exception of I-71.
I think that's the plan. So we'll take these 2 questions, then we'll adjourn the outside.
Sure.
In purple.
We had mentioned that there's a close proximity requirement for these service stations. What is the proximity requirement? It's currently several hundred feet away from the proposed new pipeline.
So,
yeah.
You can answer that. I was just going to say, so the one on Weber and Doris, that'll be connecting into a same exact pipe we're installing now. We installed the pipe across Clinton-Fumble Park up to there, I think 2012. So that will accommodate connecting that system to the new one. But I don't know.
Did Columbia look at any options that didn't include taking private property to expand the substation?
Finding parcels within the footprint of where we need within Clintonville is difficult.
What about not parcels? What about alternative construction options for the site that already exists? What about other properties, city properties here?
We evaluate all options.
Do we have an option to see what those evaluations were and how those judgments were reached?
So the current properties that we have, we're working through the purchase agreement process on those. So we're working with landowners on that, and we appreciate their cooperation in those parcels.
The last question for tonight is the blue in the back.
So, I live on West 2 Lane. I overlook, I think from your map, the western end of that blue line. And a couple of years ago, you were putting in a new gas line that was supposed to take 6 months, and it took a year and a half because you discovered that the storm sewer is underneath West 2 Lane, the continuation of Hollow Ravine. So you had to go all the way around. My concerns tonight are two. One is that West Como is the main drag into the main bicycle route, north-south, in this town. And I urge everybody to go past there tonight and see what it's like with construction equipment on the road. It's really narrow. This southwest corner of Clintonville, these streets were designed 100 years ago. And all you would have to do for this regulator, instead of moving at 800 feet, you could go 50 feet across the fence into Olentangy Village, where there is fallow land. And it wouldn't disturb traffic, especially bicycle traffic, which is very vulnerable. I've been hit 5 times in the 40 years I've been here. I had to retire the last time. And I'm not concerned about Columbia Gas's drivers who probably have CDLs. I'm concerned about everybody who's driving narrow roads, looking at their phones. I'm on a bike every day. I used to drive about 18 to 20,000 miles a year. Now I drive 3 because I ride my bike, and about a quarter of the people driving, sorry folks, all of you included, although probably not us older folks, are looking at their phones. And it's really dangerous. And you probably couldn't find a worse spot than that end of Weber to put a regulator. And also, sir, I've spoken to you twice about Northern Pipeline putting my new meters that far under a faucet, a spigot that I can't use now. And you haven't gotten back to me, and you haven't taken care of it. So why should we believe you when you say you're going to work with us?
Right, well, I appreciate that Luke is going to stay here. There's probably more questions. If he's willing to answer them outside, that's great. But we do have to leave right here. The security officers will already stay a little bit late. Please help us put the chairs away. And,